Welcome to the Leadership Match with Martin Rowinski. Every leader has a title, but the real lesson usually comes from the story behind it. Today, we're going beyond the title to uncover one experience, one leadership lesson, and one action you can use this week. So let's get into the match. My guest today is Elaine Powell, a thought disruptor, keynote speaker, including TEDx. Elaine, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Martin, for having me, and thank you for the person listening in. Lovely to be here.
I'm excited to jump in. As you know, this is a pretty quick, straight to the point
Yeah.
podcast, so we'll get right into it. What experience shaped the way you think about leadership?
Oh my goodness. I think I definitely know. I was on a leadership program with an organization called Landmark. It was a 7-month program, and it was leadership because at the end, if you met some measures, you would then become part of their leadership body and help to make decisions. And they had 5 kind of really strong pillars. And underlining all of the leadership was integrity, being your word. And I definitely have. I saw that at the time I had a very weak relationship with my word. I would say things, I wouldn't honor it, I would make excuses and reasons. And so going through this, I guess it's like an incubation period of 7 months where you're constantly honoring your word, cleaning up where you haven't, you gave someone a promise and then you just forgot about it. But trust me, that person still remembers. And it really had me see that if leadership is on a really weak kind of foundation, then you cannot lead because it diminishes trust, people lose respect. So I think that for me, leadership has to sit on some core values and core pillars, which I know that you follow, and many of your guests come here to share what is leadership and how can you be a better leader who serves.
Absolutely. And most of us build those from some failures or learning lessons. So yeah, doesn't just happen overnight.
No, I say fail your way to success. If you're not,
100%.
I don't even call it failing anymore, Martin. I just call it, I use a phrase more, it's learning how to do it better the next time.
Perfect. Love it. Love it. You also say thinking drives behavior. What thinking pattern is hurting leaders most right now?
Oh my goodness, great question. I don't think there's just one. I think that there's several. I have something called the Think Elevation, and it's 5 pillars, and each of the pillars is a thinking concept that if you apply it consistently, it will, elevate your performance and the teams around you. But there's something about consistency. I think the thing that I'm seeing is like the not just being authentic, the lack of authenticity, trying to put across a front that you've got it all together. And I see it in leadership, I see it on social media. It's I think it's just not being authentic, that you're not perfect. You're not meant to be. And that's where the growth is being vulnerable and showing when things aren't working and how did you work your way through it. So for me, I think I'm trying to be as authentic and transparent as I can and not worry about myself, because I think that's what happens. People worry what people will think about
Yeah.
them,
What will they
or
think?
people lose respect. What were
Yeah.
you going to say?
No, I was just saying, yeah, people always think like, oh, I don't want to do that because what will people think? So scared and not realizing that somebody needs to hear it.
Yeah. I'm a keynote speaker, and it's not just keynote speaking, but you have to meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
If you come in speaking and you're on this high pedestal, there's too much of a large gap for people to jump to. So we say, meet them where they are, go down into the basement, have them see through storytelling that you've been there, that you've struggled with whatever it might be, finances or marketing or whatever it is you're trying to teach or share with them. And then you lead them out of the basement, back up to hopefully not the first floor, because that's where, take them up to the second floor, the third floor, leave them more equipped with tools and strategies, not just inspiration or empowering them. Because if you just inspire someone, after a couple of days, they usually will fall back into the normal patterns. So yeah, that's what I would say on that.
I agree. So, how does a leader separate facts from the stories they tell themselves?
Oh yeah, it can be challenging, because sometimes I do say that it's not what happened that's actually upsetting you. It's the fact, and then there's the fiction. It's what you tell yourself
Yeah.
about what happened. So say for instance, I when I speak on all areas of life, because I think it's really hard to separate the leader from home and the leader from your finances. Like, you're leading in all areas of your life. But I remember when I was younger, my mum would always be comparing me to my sister. And so I had a narrative that, well, I think I got upset at one point and I said, well, I'm not going to, if you don't accept me for how I am, I'm not going to accept you for how you are. And we had a very fragmented relationship. I think I could be with her for about 30 minutes. And then I'm like, I can't be around you anymore. And it's only by later on having coaching that I was able to separate what happened. What happened was my mum was just wanted me to be like my sister, most probably in the area of dancing and performance. But I made it mean that she doesn't like me for who I am. And I had this whole story which created a really fragmented relationship. And that only changed when I went and had a conversation with her about it, not making her wrong, because as soon as you make someone wrong, their defenses and their walls will go up. But I took ownership of our relationship from my side, which had her, obviously people pull whatever you're saying, they're going to pull it back to themselves to see, how does this relate to me? And then she's like, oh, well, actually, and she went back there and said, I just wanted you to be as good as you can be. I'm your mum. I love you. And that allowed me to separate what happened from my story. And so many people are running stories that have been in existence for 20, 30 years. I'm still running stories. Some of them are in my blind spots and I can't see them. But I think awareness, and I don't know, we could talk on many, many subjects, but I think awareness is the key, because if you don't see it, it's going to keep on running you the stories you have about yourself as a leader. Am I smart enough? Am I good enough? Like, I have a framework called the NICER. You have to notice it, first of all. If you don't notice it, it's going to be running you. If things aren't feeling good, if you know that feelings help you get more present to what you're thinking. So if you're feeling anxious or worried, stop. Notice, what are you talking about? What are you thinking? Because that's driving your feelings and your behaviors. Then you have to interrupt it however you do. Jump on a great podcast like this with you and speak about it. Ring a friend, whatever it might be. Then you interrupt it, and then you can create something new. And then you'll take action, because I'm all about taking action, not just talking about it. Then you can take a new action. But you have to notice the story before you can interrupt it. I don't think you always have to go back and find out where it came from, which if you do, it helps it to dissolve because you've named it, but you can reframe it in an instant. So yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to give you little sound bites versus
No,
speak for like 10 minutes on a topic, which I could.
I know you could. You can also do it in 8.
True.
What did your work with behavior teach you about leadership in business?
That we're all just human beings. We're all trying our best every day is fresh. It's new. We've never experienced it before. So,
Isn't that's an amazing thought, actually. Think about that. Every day you wake up and you get to restart.
yeah, restart. You've never lived this day before.
Hmm.
You've never lived this minute before, this second. And I think people are really, really hard on themselves, including myself.
Yeah.
Um, I have a story, which I'm aware of, running in the background about me being stupid. And I know. And all the evidence obviously doesn't point to that, but it was an incident that happened in school. I was in the top set, but there would be these students who just never had to study and they would just max out and get A's. And so I had this conversation that I'm stupid. And it shows its head up when things happen. My little voice that we all have goes, look, good, you're stupid. And so I think I have to just keep on looking for evidence around me. Like I had a conversation with a university today and they kind of want to bring me on board to help with communications in their departments. And I was like, see, I can't be that stupid. But remind me of the question again, because I can go off tangent with it.
What did your work with behavior teach you about leadership in business?
Oh yeah, that we're all human, and we're going to have these thoughts, and we're going to have these things about ourselves that we say about ourselves. But just be kinder to yourself, and know that that's the state of being human. We're always going to be in this balance of thinking great things, and then a thought will come along that will diminish it. It will hold us back. It will keep us in survival. With my little voice, it's Harry Potter's Hermione. What's her name? She's a ghost, and she lives in the
Oh,
bathroom.
yes.
And she's like, Harry, it's she's like, she's whiny. So my voice is like that, and I notice it, and I just say, thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I feel stupid. Okay, that's fine. And then I look for the evidence that will counteract that. But I think we all have our own thing. Imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough is a human being trait. So just be kind to yourself, because I feel that if you're kind to yourself, guess what? You're going to be kinder to other people. Whatever
Hmm.
you're doing to yourself, you will be doing to other people.
Amen. Yeah, for sure. All right. So, what is one action leaders can take to elevate the thinking of their team?
Train them in thinking. Take on different things, like keep on developing them. And yes, I know you can develop them in skills, but I'm sure we've heard the whole success is 20% skills, but it's 80% mindset. And I don't find that enough organizations spend time developing the internal. They want to teach them in marketing and sales, and all of that is great. But the engine that's running this is up here. Um, I was happy to see that I'm going to be doing some work with a pharmaceutical company, and they have an aesthetic arm of their pharmaceutical, and it's part of that company is all about thought leadership, and they train their speakers to be thought leaders. So they spend time developing them, not just in the art of speaking, but in the mind. So that's what I think organizations, I think actually I'm quite, I really believe that we need to teach us as human beings how we think when we're in school, when we're young, because your thinking is going to drive your relationships, your life, your finances, everything. And yet we're not spending that vital time in school to teach young people how does thinking work? How does our emotions work? Our behaviors. This is the instrument, and we're not teaching the engine inside. We're teaching all of the body work, the lights of the car, versus how does the actual engine work. My life would be so much different if I'd understand how I work internally and where that comes from, than having to wait in my 20s and 30s that I am now. No, not.
Well, that was a powerful finish. I love it. That's the match for today. We went beyond the title to uncover the story, the lesson, and the action behind real leadership. Elaine, Thank you for sharing what shaped you and what other leaders can learn from it. And to everyone listening, don't just hear the lesson, take one idea from this conversation and put it into action this week. Subscribe, share this with another leader, and I'll see you in the next match. Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening.